Hello, hello, what is up? I'm Matt. This is my third stock speedrun for the weekend of January 1st, 2022. Third speedrun of the new year. Happy New Year. Glad to have you with me. If you are unfamiliar with the way stock speedrun is, you can check this video's description for an explanation and also a disclaimer as to its content. Very important disclaimer. Would recommend it that you read it. Let's go. Let me see. Just by the name, I'm guessing this is insurance. Any name that claims to give you an advantage in life is probably some kind of insurance. Okay, actually no, I was wrong. Well, so much for that. Engages in the identification, research, development, formulation, sale, and distribution of nutri-genomic activators, dietary supplements, nootropics. Well, I mean, you know, health company would have been my second guess. So. Protandem, dietary supplements, omega-3. I definitely try to get my intake of those regularly, very important. Okay. Body products, lotions, butters, deodorants. Oh wow, they're kind of all over the place. United States, Mexico, Japan, Australia, Hong Kong, all of these places I don't have time to read off. Business doesn't look to be doing too bad. This is a very wide profit margin, but at least they're making a profit. That's something. That's more than you can say for some companies. Let's see, what does this chart looks like? Been around, oh wow, this is fairly old. Been around since '94. Let's see, what does the last 5 years look like? COVID dips, came back, and then has been trailing off ever since then. I wonder why. I don't really see anything in these earnings numbers that would explain that. Regularly beats or matches estimates. Let's see, what does Simpleton Wall Street think? Interesting how this article says when should you buy, not if you should buy. The question of when should you buy implies that the answer of if you should buy is yes. And then the follow-up question is, well, okay, well, when? So let's see what they have to say. But it might not be a large cap stock. What is the cap of this anyway? Really just 83? Really, 83 million, they're doing 220 of revenue each year. That low cap compared to that revenue, tells me that investors think that this large profit margin does not reflect very well on the company and that it may not get fixed anytime soon. Let's see what they say here. Is it still cheap? Great news for investors. LifeVantage is still trading at a fairly cheap price according to my price. Who the hell's my? Who are you? Where I compare, again, what, in this instance I've used the price to earnings ratio. Yes, PE. I want to go look at that myself. That's in statistics, right? Yes. No forward PE, but at least we can look at trailing. And interesting how trailing PE has actually fairly regularly gone down in the last 4 quarters. However, that's probably less to do with the fact that they are earning more, obviously, and more to do with the fact that the price has been on a steady decline. Not as good as if those numbers increased had been due to increases in earnings, but hey, what you can do, it's something, I suppose. What else do I got to read about here? Currently trading below the industry PE ratio would be a great time to accumulate. Yeah, the fact that it's trading below at such a low PE and seems to be no sign of stopping from going down. That worries me. Like, even looking at the 5-day, it's gone down. Wonder why. Sitting at a loss of 39% if they invested 3 years ago. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Let's see. Declining stock and solid fundamentals. Is the market wrong about LifeVantage? Why am I only getting articles from Simpleton Dumb Street? The in-joke being that they have made wrong calls in the past that made me reflect on making wrong calls myself, so now I think they're dumb, but I'll still read their articles. Because apparently there's nothing else here. No one else is telling me whether or not they think this is a buy. Apparently Zax, who usually isn't all that good, even though they have circular logic sometimes, is like, actually no, here's Insider Monkey. Well, that was 6 months ago. Actually, what would be funny if I click on this and they say, hell yeah, it's a buy here, and then like it kept on slipping for the next 6 months. Was it 5 hedge funds portfolios? That might be more to do with the fact that it is not a big company on people's radar and less to do with the fact that it's actually a bad company. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt in those numbers. Reputation is... Well, actually, no. Because 8 hedge funds as of end of December, last December, but now it's down to 5, so apparently they've been losing favor, even though those numbers are still low. They're just saying, you know, do hedge funds own it? I don't give a shit what hedge funds think. Past 3 months, it's easy to disregard LifeVantage return on equity calculated. Wow, Simpleton Wall Street is really pushing this. Pretty high return on investment, which is interesting. I mean, does it? I mean, does this look like return on investment to you? Does it? Does it really? Performed a comparison between LifeVantage's net income growth with the industry, which revealed the company's growth is similar to the industry average growth of 26% in the same period. That makes sense. In fact, I'm surprised it's 26%, because I don't see a whole lot of growth here. Let's see what else I can look at here. Reinvesting at lower rates. Business growth power, LifeVantage's share price gain. Wait, 121%? When? Over what period? What are you talking about? Price has flown 100... Oh, past 3 years. Okay. Yeah, I mean, technically. But you're counting from a very specific point where it was at a low, and then it shot up, and now it seems to be coming back toward those lows. I mean, it's becoming... less, I don't know what to call this, when it goes up sharply, you call it parabolic. When it comes down and then it starts to level off, do you call that anti-parabolic? I don't know what to call that. But it's becoming anti-parabolic right now. I want to look at LifeVantage's lawsuit? Ooh, are they getting sued? Oh no, this was last year. Actually, wait, this is interesting. Federal court dismissed... Well, I mean, whatever it was, they dismissed it. District Court of Utah dismissed all but one claim filed against LifeVantage in a pending class action lawsuit. This was January of 2020. Did that have an impact on the stock? You know, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell because COVID hit at this same time. So, like, I can point to this drop here between January and February and even March, and I can say, was this COVID? Or was this, you know, them getting sued? That's a hard question to answer. Oh, jeez. Ooh, what's this? Pyramid scheme claims. Ooh. Contributors claim LifeVantage is running an illegal pyramid scheme. Federal judge dismissed some of the claims. Oh, these were the claims that they were getting sued at. Class action lawsuit filed. LifeVantage, a multi-level mark. Oh, this company works through multi-level marketing. Oh my goodness. I think that share price decline makes sense because MLMs are short-lived. They burn hot, but then they die quickly. Because after a while, there's nowhere left to go. You kind of spread yourself too thin. You can't just keep a business model like that up forever. Really? Interesting. Okay, what was this article? Claim LifeVantage is running an illegal pyramid scheme that puts their investments at risk. Now, this was the pyramid scheme claims back in 2020 when they were getting sued. However, this article, when is this article from? Is there a date here? I don't see a date. I could have sworn this was from this year. It might not be. No, not Outlook email. One analyst offering 12-month price forecasts have a median target of 750. That's not that big of an increase. Alright. So, I don't like it. I don't like it for several reasons, even though it seems to have solidly, maybe not a whole lot of growth going on, but at least has a solid revenue and earnings stream. Maybe because there's not a whole lot of growth, that's why the price declines like that, but I can also see the price declining because people just don't like multi-level marketing schemes. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense because you can only recruit so many people before the profits start to get spread too thin, and you just can't maintain that, and everyone starts losing. Maybe not the people at the top, but everyone starts losing. The further they are down the pyramid, they start to lose more. And once that starts, the whole pyramid topples. I mean, I really hope they're not doing that anymore. I didn't see anything saying they didn't change their business model from that. I really hope they did, but if they didn't, I can definitely see that being a reason as to why, as to why, one, their earnings and revenues are a bit stagnant, and two, why people seem to not be very enthused with the stock and why it's going down. So it's not a buy, and I'm kind of torn between a sell and a hold, and I'm gonna make my case for why I think it's a hold. It could very possibly, at one point, you know how I said it's kind of going anti-parabolic? It seems to be leveling off a bit. I don't think it's quite there yet, but a bit. And there's a lot of room for improvement in a company in a business model like this. Whether or not they'll do it is another question, but there's a lot of room for improvement. So my justification for a hold is that perhaps they'll knock some sense into themselves, and maybe they have already, I don't know. Maybe they'll knock some sense into themselves and improve their business model a bit, and actually start going for growth as opposed to just stagnation. That's my justification for a hold, and honestly, it seems like the company, if this company was just a scam and didn't want to do anything good, they would just be fleecing investors of money, and it doesn't seem like that's what they're doing. They're not doing all the red flag stuff that I always talk about, reverse splits, issuing shares, having no revenue. They're not doing any of these. They have revenue. I didn't see a reverse split. I didn't see any issuing of shares past the IPO. So I think that they want to do good things. They're just either too dumb to figure out how, or just haven't gotten around to it yet. So they want to do good things, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they can do those good things in the future, and that's my justification for a hold. It's kind of a weak hold, though, because I can very easily, move my sentiments on all those points over just a couple %, and then I would fall into this sell column, but I'm going to go ahead and make it a weak hold. Again, I'm going to hit that hold button, but it's a caveat that it is a weak hold. A fairly weak hold. Alright? So that's that. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.